Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Sports Hour Plus with Miller and Watson, holiday edition. Woo!
What?
Ready for some holiday breaks, good food, good family.
Right.
I'm Italian, so we do the dinner of 7 fishes on Christmas Eve. So we do it a little differently. We make cioppino. I don't know if you know. Do you know what cioppino is? It's like a
Nope. But
it's
I'm
like a
excited to know.
It's like a fish stew almost, and that sounds really gross, but it's like scallops, shrimp, whitefish,
Mm,
calamari, mussels, clams, and you like put it in this like homemade red sauce, and you're just supposed to eat 7 different types of fish. It's like a Italian Christmas tradition. I don't really know the origin, but we do it every year. So we're all excited. My mom just bought a new house, so we're going down there tomorrow after our double header at NBC football games.
okay.
How
All
about
right.
you?
Yeah. Well, we're chilling mostly. We'll watch some football and basketball games, eat some good soul food. My mom always does it up well. Usually we'll have a big family reunion on my dad's side, but that's virtual this year. So we'll do that. Watch some games. Go to church, obviously, and then go out. I think not during Christmas. Obviously, everything's closed, even in the Northeast. Yeah. So hang out, play some video games, watch some football,
Open
uh,
some presents.
some presents, basketball.
Yes, I know. I'm
We'll see.
excited. We're
Yeah.
we're pumped. It's gonna be
Yeah.
nice. It'll be nice to have a few days off. And
Yeah.
then, of course, right back to the grind. Season is winding down for NFL, which is kind of crazy. Like, I can't believe it's already week 16.
Right. Right. That extra football game makes it longer, though.
It does. It does. But speaking of stuff winding down, we're going to talk some college first. And as you all know, the college football playoffs are about 10 days. The bowl games are starting tomorrow, which is exciting. Go JMU Dukes playing in the Armed Forces Bowl, first bowl ever. So very exciting. What is Syracuse playing in?
They had the Boca Raton Bowl yesterday. It's
Did
better we
they
don't
win?
talk about it.
Okay,
No.
okay. So no.
45 to nothing. No. The
Ooh,
first ever shutout in
damn,
Syracuse football history. So
damn, that sucks. Who they play?
USF. So it
Okay,
was just
well,
essentially a home game for them.
yeah, that sucks. But we're going to talk about staying in Florida actually. So Florida State is saying peace out to the ACC. You know, the ACC is something that I kind of grew up around, being from Virginia. You know, Virginia Tech and UVA are both ACC members, and you kind of grew up hearing about the structuring of the TV contract and how it wasn't fair and how they made these teams sign these ridiculously long contracts and all that stuff. And I think a lot of teams are sick of it. And Florida State being one. And I don't know if this has a lot to. I'm assuming would be because ACC's football is not as strong. Would that be the assumption? Is that ACC is more of a basketball conference and Florida State is more of a football school? I mean, what would you think?
I think Florida State is just mad that they didn't get that the politics screwed them over. And I just have some things from my Florida State alum. Shout out to one that I know because we went to Syracuse together, Kendra Sheehan. She currently works for the Western Athletic Conference. So shout out to her and the WAC. This will probably be the only Western Athletic Conference mentioned ever on this show's history.
Yeah.
Y'all can hold me to that. And the only reason she's getting the shout out is because this is her alma mater, and that's mine. That's a good friend of mine. She has nothing else to do unless she's gonna text me in a minute and tell me she's a Florida State board member. This has nothing to do with that, nothing to that, and she's an alum. Yeah, I think they're a little peeved that they didn't make it. Obviously, some pot. We
Yeah.
didn't really talk about this in the last few weeks just because other things have gotten in the way as far as football and the NBA. But Florida State, they got screwed. As Jay-Z would say, it was politics as usual. They decided between Florida State, Texas, and Alabama, and obviously Florida State is always going to lose in that
Yeah.
battle
Yeah, I mean, I
you know,
said this like a month ago when we were talking about looking ahead. I said, if Alabama wins out and they beat Georgia, they're gonna be in the playoffs over some of these other teams.
right,
And
right.
of course they're pissed. I mean, I'd be pissed too. And I don't really know what leaving the ACC does, besides maybe give you a stronger level of schedule. I don't, kind of looking at this, like, where do they go? I mean, they like we kind of talked a little bit before we went live. Obviously, they're not going to go to the SEC.
They
So I'm
can't.
looking at,
Florida,
yeah, I mean,
they can't go with their brothers, University of Florida. I don't know if there's some deep hate there, but they
yeah,
can't go there. So.
are they going to? I mean, Big Ten is seemingly overwhelmed with teams. It's just too big. Pac-12, I mean, is that even a stronger
That's
conference
dead.
now? That's what I'm saying. Like, is it a stronger conference
Yes.
now than, I don't know. What do you think?
Nope. I think that the only option they have is the Big 12 because that'll give them the football options. But even that is a bunch of like now that Texas and
But that's
Oklahoma
what I'm saying.
are leaving for the SEC.
Is that a stronger level of
No.
schedule than the ACC? So I don't really understand.
No, they're better off saying, yeah, they just want more money. Because that right to guarantee. I haven't looked too deep into it, but apparently it like shares it evenly amongst the teams. So like, Florida State and all them get about the same percentage. Maybe they think they should be higher. Obviously, ESPN controls all of that. And like, it's just, I understand it from Florida State's perspective, but like, come on, guys, like y'all haven't been relevant since Jameis Winston was there. You haven't won a championship in a while. Like you and Clemson are basically in the same kind of thing. Like there's no other team that wants you. Like the Big Ten is not expanding to the South. Like it's enough that they have the Big Ten West now, and there won't be any divisions.
Yeah.
Like you don't add anything. You don't bring enough basketball and or football for them to want you. So like the Big 12 is probably your only option. And I mean, Florida State's main argument could be that like if they go to the Big 12, they get a Big 12 conference championship game. Obviously, they get that WWE partnership, they get more exposure. But like, other than that, like other than to go Sun Colorado, like there's no reason to go to like the Big 12 unless you think that going off and facing off with Arizona State, Iowa State, Oklahoma State is a better option football-wise than Syracuse, Duke. I mean, the argument that has been made that the ACC was a pretty strong football conference this year. They had a lot of teams make a bowl game. Now, some of them didn't win. Like my alma mater yesterday, Syracuse, 45-0. We're not talking about that first shutout ever, but we might as well put it in there. We're not talking about it. The next topic will be better for them, top 10. But a top 10 football recruiting class. Shout out to Fran Brown, SEC coach from South Jersey. Got Kyle McCord. Like, they're heading places. But yeah, the ACC right now, I would say, is a better football conference than most people think. Obviously, it's way more of a basketball conference, but like it's a basketball, a softball, a lacrosse conference. Yeah. It's good at a lot of sports, but specifically football and basketball is like the two mainstays. But I really think this is just a Florida State Clemson thing. And Clemson probably has a better argument to go into the SEC. But I don't really know what their big brother South Carolina thinks about that.
And all I have to say, last thing I'll say on this, and we said this before the podcast as well. This is great for JMU. This is great. This is great for James Madison. ACC makes perfect sense for them. If FSU leaves and they're looking for another school that's good at both basketball and football, call down to your little brother, UVA, Virginia Tech. Let's do it. Let's join forces and make the ACC a Virginia conference. So
Virginia, man, that would be good.
Wouldn't that be fun? So there's a lot of stuff going on. But staying in this realm of football, college football.
Can I add one more thing? What would be a surprise? What would be a surprise? So shout out to the new members of the conference coming in. SMU, Cal, Stanford. Yeah. Obviously, all three of those schools really good at football. Well, Cal not so much, but but historically, football, basketball, and all the other sports. A little bit of an ACC West, but I'm just saying, man, outside of James Madison, a school that makes sense. And I'm just saying this not because I'm a Pennsylvanian, but they will definitely add to the basketball, and you need more of this on my side of my state. How about Villanova? How about you strike a big hit to the Big East and take Villanova,
Villanova's
or
not
you really
leaving the
want to
Big
swing for.
East. They're not going to leave the Big East. They don't want to leave the Big East.
Look. We said the same thing about Oklahoma and Texas with the Big 12. Said the same thing about the Pac-12. All it takes is some money. I'm just saying.
I know, but the Big East
Look,
is such an iconic basketball conference. I can't see Villanova leaving, but I could be wrong.
Look, I said the same thing about Syracuse before they dipped to the ACC. So
Fair.
never.
I
say
guess I
never.
would have said
So,
the same thing about UConn before a few years ago. So,
Yeah.
All right. So
they can grab UConn.
no,
They can grab UConn.
no, UConn does not need to go to the ACC. UConn needs to stay in the Big East.
Gonzaga, maybe.
You're just throwing these things. You're just trying to make me mad, aren't you? Trying to make my fiance mad. No, he just he wants every. He hates Gonzaga. He hates every school that's not UConn. For being honest.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it alone.
Yeah. So going off of this, there's been a lot of kind of crazy stuff happening in college recruitment right now. The number one QB is going to Nebraska. And then Syracuse has a top 10 recruiting class. And you kind of asked me beforehand, what?
Raise the roof, baby.
Why do I think that happened? And the answer is just, it's NIL, right? It has to be. There's no other, I don't know. You can't convince a number one quarterback that he's going to win a national championship in Nebraska. It's not going to happen. So the money has to be good. Right?
Yeah.
Syracuse maybe with a full top 10 recruiting class could do some damage, but hey, you're the Syracuse fan. You talk on it. What do you think?
Hey, man, look, as far as Nebraska, maybe, I'm not in Dylan Raiola. I think that's his name's pockets, but, obviously that NIL, obviously as one of our colleagues, Dan Patrick, said earlier this week, clearly Matt Rule has a sugar daddy because ain't no way you flip from Georgia to Nebraska without some serious scratch.
It's bizarre.
Coming your way, man.
Bizarre.
And
am I wrong? And I should have looked this up before, but didn't Georgia, their quarterback is leaving, right?
Yeah, so one quarterback is leaving, the other one is coming back. The higher rated quarterback is coming back.
Okay, so I guess that could have gone into it a little bit. Maybe he wants to play right off the bat, and Nebraska told him he could play. That could be the only reason that I would see you swept, besides money. Obviously, NIL is probably the main reason here. But, do you think that NIL has changed the future of college sports forever?
Yeah, man. I think it has. I think it's bringing agency to this thing, man. We haven't seen this type of, we talked off air about it. It's like the NBA out here, man. I know the college coaches hate it. Yeah, I know the college coaches hate it, but it's about time, man. I've said this for a while. Any college football, college basketball, any college sports fan worth their salt has always thought it was the biggest hypocrisy. I won't speak for everybody, but I know I've always thought it was the biggest hypocrisy that a coach can come into either one of our rooms and be like, hey, Morgan, hey, Kylan, yeah, I want y'all right now. Here's a scholarship, here's everything. They'll tell you all this stuff. They'll blow smoke up your behind. And then the next year, they'll take the money and run to JMU or Syracuse for a better deal and leave you stuck in the school. I always thought it was the stupidest thing that coaches could have many buyouts in multiple schools across the country, but the players had to stick it out for 2 years. How ridiculous was that?
And specifically, I think people can hem and haw about the ideas of straight up paying players. So straight up giving them cash to play. I can understand how people are well, they're getting it for education, this and that. The thing that I never understood is that you should be able to make money off of your own jersey sales. off of
Yep.
a commercial, off things like that. And so I think that has changed the game for the better. Straight up paying players. I mean, I think right now we're in the time where we're seeing the positives and the negatives of it, right? We're not,
Well, right.
not everything is beautiful. They were always paying players. So I think that that's a different thing too. And I think that we all said, well, how are smaller teams going to get these players, blah, 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 blah. And I think that like Nebraska's a good point there. We're like, I mean, Nebraska's a big state school, obviously, but like you would have always thought that like Georgia would have been able to offer more money, more this, more that, but maybe they can't because they're paying so many players. They're doing so much stuff that these really, really good players will start to get spread out around the country.
Yeah, which is good. Parity in football. Yeah. I mean, look, JMU has made the thing. Syracuse has a top 10 football recruiting class. Shout out again, Fran Brown, South Jersey. I mean, did I ever think that in a week that was a pretty good week for me sports-wise, except for the Eagles? We'll get to them in a couple minutes, actually. But like Kyle McCord, the top 10 future first-round pick, would choose Syracuse over Ohio State. Oh, pinch me, baby. Like, let's do this, man.
That's going to be fun. And I think that this year we're probably seeing it a little bit more because of the 12-team or 16-team, 12-team, 16-team?
12. It's starting out at 12.
12-team playoff that kids know that if they go to these other schools, they'll still have a chance to meet the playoffs as well. Right. So moving right along, staying in football, but heading to the NFL, what did you think about the game last night?
Ooh, the ramrodded Saints. Oh, Rams versus Saints, man. I think that the Rams are a dangerous team, and I'm happy the Philadelphia Eagles played them earlier this season because before they got it together. Because
I was going to say they have seemed to. Oh my God, do you think that he's cemented offensive rookie of the year?
I think so, man. I don't think anybody. I mean, unless Arthur Smith, Matthew Berry's least favorite coach, decides to grab a pulse and like let Bijan cook.
What about Rashee Rice? He'd be the only other one I would say.
Yeah, other than Rice, maybe. But yeah, I think he's got it sewn up. I think Matthew Stafford, clearly he's not about to retire. Like, that's the best 1-2-3 punch outside of Philadelphia and San Francisco that I have seen. Y'all didn't think I would actually put that over San Fran and Philly, did you? like that's the best 1-2-3 punch I've seen. And Kyren Williams. Shout out to another guy with a unique
name. He looks so good too.
Numbers. Kyren Williams.
Okay, I have a question for you. So
gave his mom the game ball and everything.
Okay, so Puka Nacua now has 600 yards receiving games. And we're at he just finished week 16. Just 2 more games. Only 2 players in their rookie season had more in the Super Bowl era. Do you know who they are?
Ooh, do I know who they are? Is it Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith?
No.
They're
way more recent. Way more recent.
Okay, all right.
Like last few years, rookies.
All right, I'll say Kamara. No, not Kamara. Wow. All right, I'm stumped. Who is it? Eckler?
Odell and Justin Jefferson. I didn't realize
the LSU I didn't realize. One. See, I was thinking running backs, not receivers.
I know.
Okay.
I know. Did I say rushing? I meant receiving. If I said rushing, I may have screwed that up. But yeah, okay. He has. And he also has 4 games with 150 plus yards, which is the most by a rookie in the Super Bowl era. So I mean, he is on absolute fire. And Matthew Stafford looks really good too. I mean, he has his 4 straight games with 2 or more touchdowns and no interceptions. He's looking good. They're putting it together, and I think that that's. I mean, what you said is true. That you're glad that the Eagles already played them because they have somehow found their magic. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, but what do you? So do you have any concerns about them? I have one.
Yeah, I think my concern is probably the same concern I have for the Eagles. They're twinning in more ways than one. That red zone offense. I think that the fact that they really didn't cash in outside of like the first quarter with the
that's
a slant route.
Yeah, that like crazy catch that he had. Yeah.
Yeah, I need them to shore that up. But like every game for both of these teams is a playoff game essentially. So like, they're going to
Yeah,
give it
I
the best
mean,
shot. I know the Eagles are happy. The 49ers are happy that they played them probably already. Like there's a bunch of teams that are like looking for the top 2 seeds in the NFC that are like, oh, glad we got that out the way. like
no, for
because
honestly.
like if you're playing the Rams these next 2 weeks, good luck because they are fighting for that 6-7 seed.
Who
So
are
good
what
luck
are
if you're
their
facing them.
let's see, who do they play
Do
the
the
next
Giants
2
play them
games?
anytime soon?
Yeah, we play them on
Ah,
New Year's Eve. Yeah, so
oh
I
no.
don't know. So the Rams, yeah, I mean the Giants game might be probably a win. But then they also play the 49ers as their last game. So that could be
Oh, they play
a
them
really
again?
good game. Yeah, it's the January 7th game, 49ers. Um my
Okay.
concern with them is
All
that
right.
they let teams hang around. They can never seem to put the nail in the coffin early enough. They kind of just let teams hang around. And I think that that's scary because if you're playing a team like the 49ers or the Eagles or the Ravens, those are teams that can come back. They can do a 2-minute drill at the end of the game and win. The Saints, Derek Carr freaking sucks. So um he sucks. His
Shout out to the Raiders for getting rid of them.
his players hate him. Like you can tell that his teammates don't like him. So I think that they need to worry about finishing out games. You can't win in 3 quarters. It takes 4 quarters to win.
So
So
do the
let
Saints? So who?
us
So who's more likely? Wait. So who's more likely to make it between these two teams, the
the
Rams or the
Rams.
Saints? You think the
The
Saints
Rams.
can
The
catch
Sam
the Bucks? Okay.
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
No.
I think Baker's
Saints are
playing too
done.
good.
Okay.
I think the Saints are I think they're hanging on by a thread. Like I said, I'm kidding when I say that Derek Carr sucks, but I think that his you can tell that his team doesn't like him as much as other teams like their quarterbacks. As a person, I don't mean as a football player. I mean like as a person. So
All right. So
let's
shout out
get
to the
to what? Shout out to who?
NFC South for carrying on that NFC Least bandwagon for the last couple of years. NFC
Yes.
East is the NFC Beast, and the NFC South is now the NFC Least.
So what's going on with your Eagles, man? What's going on?
Well, I mean, we do. I have. If you've been paying attention to this podcast, I've been saying for a while that the Eagles are not invincible. I think that the Eagles, unfortunately, the schedule got them. The schedule did get them. Like it's just what happens. The schedule got them. After if you would have told me after that stretch of Cowboys twice, Niners, Bills, Chiefs, they ended up 4-2, great.
Yeah.
Like, and then the Wolves just got to them. The 49ers acted like that was their Super Bowl. And then the Cowboys, they haven't won in Dallas in like 10 years. So like, they got a split with the Cowboys.
And
more
I'll
than
give you
likely.
the Seahawks, dude. If Jalen really did have the flu, I mean, I don't know how he played. I was so sick with that flu. If that's what he had, I'll give you that's not. I couldn't have played through that. So
a lot of IVs. That's how we did. a lot of Gatorade and IVs.
Yeah, what I would have given for a saline IV last week. So you guys are playing a future Hall of Fame quarterback in Tommy Cutlets, an Italian hero, honestly, on Christmas, the Italian stallion on Christmas. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. It's going to be a blowout. You guys, there's just no way. I was hoping that you guys won against the Seahawks because I think that there is a chance that the Giants do have the Eagles' number in December. The Eagles tend to drop games in December to teams that they should beat. So I was like, okay, they beat the Seahawks. We have a chance to steal one from them. But now that y'all have lost 3 in a row, I just don't think there's just no way that there's no way. You asked me earlier. You asked me earlier, how do they pull a victory off? No, the way is that everybody on the Eagles gets the flu. That is how or they decide to go out and drink on New Year's Eve and are all hungover. That is how the Giants win. Like, there's just no good path for them. We don't have good enough corners to stop AJ Brown and all of your receivers. Our line is not good enough to stop the Georgia Eagles from getting to Tommy DeVito. He's going to be on his butt the whole game. So I just, there'll be no holes for Saquon to run through. So I don't see a way that we win.
I love the fact that you said it and not me. See, it's better when it comes from a Giants
fan.
No,
I know. And here, I'm a very rational Giants fan, right? Like, I'm having fun. I enjoy watching them play, but there's just no way. I mean, and maybe I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong.
Well, here's what I'll give you, right? You will beat the Eagles, not this Sunday, but you will beat the Eagles next Sunday because, with the way it's going right now, they're going to be mad at this game, so you guys will probably get destroyed. But in New Year's Eve, when it's more than likely that the Eagles already know their spot based on, this will be like based on where they are. So here's the thing, right? So the Eagles are more than likely going to destroy y'all on Sunday just because they have to, right? Like
legitimately have to.
And then after that, they'll beat the Cardinals, probably wrap it up by then, have the 2 seed, and then you guys will win on the New Year's Eve game that doesn't matter because there's no way at MetLife Stadium, even if the game did matter, that they will play Jalen Hurts and them on that field with everybody and their mom getting in.
No, you shouldn't. I mean,
even if the game, even if the game mattered, here's
knowing
the thing,
them, he'll tear his Achilles.
The last couple of years, you guys have beat us. It's just never in Philly. That's what it is.
Yeah,
so they'll beat y'all tomorrow. They'll beat y'all on Monday. And then New Year's Eve, we'll give you a New Year's Eve present. Y'all can all watch the ball drop at midnight. You won't have to worry about it because more than likely, even if it matters, and the Eagles, if you tell the Eagles you either get the 2 seed or the 5th seed by the time they play the Giants next Sunday, they're not going to play Jalen Hurts. They're not going to play Jason Kelce. They are not going to risk any injuries on MetLife Stadium. So, they're not doing it.
It's our only advantage. Our only advantage is our shitty turf.
The Eagles are not doing it. The Eagles are going to be like, you know what? We'll put out Marcus Mariota, the backup O-line, and the defense. Y'all got this one.
Oh, okay. Wow.
We don't know, but they're like, we'll put that out there. But yeah, the other way is if Darren Waller just goes off like Jackson Smith and Jigga did. Now, of course, that requires, the passing Paisan not being sacked by Jalen Carter every
the issue.
Yeah.
Which is the issue.
But,
so I think maybe it'll be a fun game. I don't know. So let's go talk to who I
with the winning.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are winning. That's my prediction. Straight up, money line. Straight up. I think
we're all in agreement here.
So let's go talk about, and you're gonna be mad at me about this. My best team in the NFC, my probably best team in the NFL, actually, the 49ers. And I know you disagree with me because I know you think that the Eagles are the best team, but I think that this is going to be an incredible game. I think that they stack up really well against each other. I think it's going to be really high scoring. I think that both of their defenses are not as good as their offenses. But I think this is going to be a fun game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think this is going to be a fun game. I've told every Niners fan I know that you all will probably not win this game just because this is the best defense you guys will face all year. Not you, because you're not a Niners fan, but
no, it's true.
The Niners have faced.
Sorry, I don't. Can you hear my dogs
they
barking?
No,
they're being so annoying.
No, but yeah, like the Niners, this will be the best defense the Niners will face all year. like every defense, even the Eagles don't have a Kyle Hamilton who can cover George Kittle, who can cover McCaffrey. And we
That's
know
true.
that what McCaffrey and Kittle struggle with is safeties that play tough on them. So, and safeties, and they have that. And Roquan Smith, a linebacker who can cover George Kittle. Like, I just don't think, I think Brock Purdy's going to struggle. I don't think it's a given. Like a bunch of our colleagues / analysts
Yeah,
think
I don't
so
think
at
it's a
NBC.
given.
A lot of them are all like, it's going to be a blowout. I'm all I know. And for Niners fans, the fact that everybody outside of Baltimore and me are saying, oh, the Niners have this in a nutshell should worry you. Like, it should worry you. Sure. Like, obviously the advantage is there's no rest advantage, but the Ravens have to fly over a couple of time zones, have to spend Christmas night there, which gives them all the more reason to blow y'all out and not make it close by the second quarter. And other than Jalen Hurts, you won't face a more mobile quarterback than Lamar Jackson, who literally this whole year wants to pass. That should scare you, 49ers fans. He wants to pass. He doesn't want to run it. He wants to pass. Like,
it's crazy.
He's he's going to be breaking a few ankles. Like, if you're going to be so happy if you're a Lamar Jackson fantasy football owner. Like, if you're a Lamar Jackson fantasy football owner, you are going to have a time, because I fully expect 3 touchdowns, maybe 2 rushing touchdowns, so 5 touchdowns combined. The Niners can fully be had over the middle. So Isaiah Likely will probably have a big, big game. And Javon Hargrave and Armstead probably aren't playing. So this is going to be great for the Ravens offense and a bad time for the 49ers offense. It's going to be great. It'll be a bad time for the 49ers defense and a bad time for the 49ers offense. Because I just don't see it. Like, I don't see it. I don't see it for the Niners how you're gonna contain Lamar. I really don't. I don't see it. He's not. There's no injury that we know of, like with Jalen Hurts. So like, there's no reason for him to not break some ankles on the way to the touchdown, unless he's feeling like a Christmas miracle. Like, there's just no reason for him to not eat over the Niners defense. Yeah. It's really not that good, honestly. It's not that good.
I agree. I agree. So obviously you have the Ravens winning. I have the 49ers winning. We will check back in next week and see who was right on that one. And let's go to our last Christmas game. Raiders Chiefs is on Christmas, right?
Yep. It's the Nickelodeon CBS game. Yep.
Yeah. So all I remember from last year's Nickelodeon game, do you remember this? When they had Patrick on the screen doing play-by-play and Russ threw an interception. And he was like, no, Russ, you threw an interception. And he was like, everybody was like, no, like, that is got to be the worst feeling ever. Like, you just threw an interception, and not only did you throw an interception, but freaking Patrick the Star is commentating it. Oh, it was so funny. I actually, a girl I went to grad school with is one of the producers for the Nickelodeon games. She one of the producers for Nickelodeon NFL, and it looks awesome.
Hey, maybe it was her idea. Maybe that's why she makes the big buck.
But I think this game is awesome. Regardless of the fact who's playing, I think that bringing these games to things like Nickelodeon and making them fun is such a great thing for kids. One of our producers at NBC, Pete Demolitis, he says that his kids watch the Thanksgiving one like once a week. It's like they'll watch the game. It's like a movie for them, which is great. It gets these kids interested in football and sports earlier, and I love it. I think it's fun. I don't think this is going to be much of a game. I think the Chiefs are going to blow them out. But what do you think?
Yeah, honestly, before we even get there, I won't lie. I won't hold you. Like, the last few Super Bowls, not the Eagles one, but the ones before that, I watched them on Nickelodeon.
They're so fun. They're so fun.
I like that broadcast way better. And shout out to my boy, my fellow Cuse alum, Noah.
Noah's the best.
Great job doing Big Ten for us. But before that, great job as a classmate in Syracuse as well. But But no, like I never let him forget the Peruvian puff pepper reference of the last Super Bowl, man. I love that as a Drake and Josh fan. Like
Yeah,
it was
no,
great. So like I'm fully a fan of Nickelodeon getting
me
more
too.
games. So I just want to say that even though I work for NBC, I am so happy that Nickelodeon has
It's
this.
so cool.
I wish they
It's so
had this
cool.
when we were kids.
Would have been
You know,
so
all
fun.
we had, yeah, all we had was the computer games with like Bugs Bunny in them on the internet playing the Super Bowl, but not an actual broadcast. But I'm not hating. Shout out to you kids. We love the kids over here at Sports Hour Plus with Miller and Watson.
Yes.
So even though we both don't have any yet, so like love the kids. So like you know, for me, like I fully expect the Chiefs to blow out the Raiders. Sorry, Raiders fans. It might be close because it's a division rivalry, and we both know those are generally tough. But I feel like the Chiefs they need a good game. Like
They need
we're
a
keeping up
win.
with the team, right? Like offenses that need a good game. You know, the Niners, Ravens, Eagles. Now the Chiefs, and they probably need a good offensive game way more than the other three. So
Yeah.
like yeah, this is a great spot for the Chiefs. You know, send them home early so Travis can look up and boo love with Taylor, and they can get some more stuff going on. Like I know there's going to be a lot of Taylor Swift references at this game on both broadcasts. So shout out to that. You know, hopefully I don't know who's on this game. Maybe it's Noah, maybe it's not, but hopefully whoever's on play by play
It's
will get a lot of Taylor Swift
probably
references.
it's probably I mean it could be Noah. Noah's doing our game on Saturday, so that would be a quick turnaround for him. But
Yeah.
it probably is. I mean, he does most of those games. So
Yeah.
he's awesome, and best of luck. Hope he has a great call for if he is on it. Do you have any other predictions for this weekend?
Yes.
I know you do.
Dallas, look at that you. Look at that you. All right. Let me help y'all out. I was right last week. I'm gonna help y'all out again this week. So just expect Tua Tagovailoa 5 touchdowns. Most of them to Jalen Waddle or the Cheetah. And you guys are gonna maybe have a better and more competitive game, which isn't saying much. But you're still gonna lose, and it's all good. And then once you lose and the Eagles win, the 2 seed is wrapped up. You don't have to worry about that, and you can focus on Detroit and whichever other team you got to play before the playoffs. No, just you know, it's a wrap. Like I fully expect the Dolphins to win by at least 15. That'll be I don't know what the over under is, but I fully expect them to win by at least 15 points.
Okay, that's fair.
I
think
a great Christmas and go ahead and doing the laps around my house when it happens. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think I've said all of my takes for NFL this weekend. These big 3 games we talked about are the big games that I'm focused on, and sending obviously positive vibes to my my Giants and hoping that they can get a win because that would be really fun. I think they're going to? No, but it would be fun.
Y'all definitely need. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't say this earlier, but sorry about UConn earlier.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're really, really sorry. Hey, you know what? We knew they were going to lose. They came out in the Big East opener. They were wearing their all black uniforms. It's a recipe for disaster. Dan wants them to burn the all black uniforms. So,
we talked about this. So look, UConn's great. They'll be all right. So no big deal there. Yeah.
All right.
Let's
turn to another hot topic.
More ways than one, right?
More ways than one. Ja is back. So I don't know. I just have so many feelings about this. I don't know. I mean, it's not like he's a bad person.
Please get on your pulpit. I'll sit here and watch.
Yeah, it's not like he's a bad person. It's just like he can't stop playing with guns. And that sounds ridiculous. And it's like sounds stupid to say, but like at some point you have to be able to take responsibility of like, dude, play with the guns all you want. Just don't show them on your Instagram story. Like, what is that? Why is that like a compelling thing that you have to keep doing. I'm
Mhm.
not against guns. I think everybody can make their own decisions, whatever. If it's legally obtained, then whatever. But a non-legally obtained gun that you're flashing on an Instagram story, like at some point you do have to realize you are a role model for younger people, even if you don't want to be, even if you just want to play football or basketball or sport, whatever. You are representing your team. You're representing your sport. And that goes back to, and now this is getting a little deep, but goes back to, like, I'm a high school coach and I say, once you make this team, like, I make them sign contracts saying, like, you can't do stupid stuff anymore. You are a part of a team. You are representing your team. So anytime you do anything, if whether it's cursing in school, it's talking back to your teacher, it's coming in late, it's whatever, you're representing this team. And so if I hear about it, there's going to be consequences. That's something you learn at a very young age, that, like, actions have consequences. And I don't know. I don't know. I just am like, he's a great player, obviously, but he just makes me mad. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think Ja, like, you know, obviously, we all here hope that he has learned a lesson, and if the
Yeah.
lesson is nothing else short of, just you can be
Play
on
with your
Instagram
guns at
Live,
home.
you can be on Facebook. Just don't record yourself playing with guns. The other thing that got him in trouble was this whole, like, I know he loves the kids in his neighborhood, but dog, if somebody beats you in basketball, you don't have to get your squad to jump them. I know that wasn't confirmed or not, but, like, the fact that it was out there, along with the fact that you were playing with guns, like, not even playing, just showing the gun on your Instagram Live, it was just too much for the NBA, man. The NBA is willing to take on a lot, but one thing they're not is bad gun PR and domestic abuse. That's not what they want in
And
the
two
league.
things
That's
that,
not
like,
what
aren't
anybody.
that hard to not do. Like,
Right,
don't hit people that you shouldn't hit. Don't hit anybody. And
right,
don't play with guns out in public. Like,
right,
you're making millions of dollars. It's not that hard.
right. And so, like, I hope, if nothing else, Ja Morant got some better friends, people who will tell him, hey, I'm not going to hit the Instagram Live button because you have a gun right next to you.
Yeah.
Like, if nothing else, I hope he got better friends. Like, somebody who will tell him, like, logically, dog, this is bad for your brand. You've got Nike, you've got some big sponsors. They don't want to be associated with somebody who doesn't know how to be a responsible gun owner. So,
Yeah.
like, I hope that has taught him something. Now, obviously, he's a superstar. It was great to have him back. The buzzer beater, scoring like 30 points. He's great for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, unfortunately for him and for them, like, they'll probably only end up with a 7 or 8 seed, so they'll probably be a play-in team.
Yeah.
But, like, he's great for the league. This gets into our next question: is his return good for basketball, or is it a permanent stain? I never want to say something is a permanent stain, especially when you're, like, in your 20s. But I think this is a great lesson for him. It's kind of like what we talked about last week with Draymond Green. I am glad that the NBA and the Memphis Grizzlies stepped in before this got worse, before you created a Draymond Green situation. So I hope he is great for the sport. Let me answer this question. He's great for the sport and for the NBA. Great for the city of Memphis. Great that small, and Memphis is not a small city, but in comparison to Philly, New York, Boston, all these other cities, it is. But, like, it's great for that small market team. Great for that city. He just needs to keep the guns away from social media. And if you're playing basketball with a kid and they beat you or dunk on you, like, these kids are like, I mean, you work in you work with high schoolers more than I do. Like, these kids are like 15, 16, and they look like they belong on a college campus or with us. They look like grown men and women. So it is no shame that somebody who's 17 and taller than you dunks on you or did whatever he did in your front yard that made you allegedly jump him. It's like he said, who knows what really happened? But, like, Ja, just get some better friends, keep the guns off the internet, and if a neighborhood kid beats you, just shake his hand and keep it moving. Like, you have to understand you are an NBA player. You have nothing to prove, baby. Nothing to
No,
prove.
you've
You're in
made
your
it, and
yeah,
probably one of the hardest leagues to make it into
right.
in professional sports. So
You
we
were in
all
your
know you're great.
20s. You proved you proven yourself.
All right. So we've kind
Like
of talked about,
you don't have to do all that. No, you don't
yeah,
have to do all
no, I
right.
I think that you're right, and I think that I don't think it's going to leave a permanent stain. If he does it again, I think we have another conversation to have. But as of now, I think lesson learned. Let's try and move forward from it, and have a great rest of the season. So, keeping with this basketball, we got a lot of good games on Christmas. You got your team playing. So what are your predictions for Christmas basketball? Also, wait, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you because again, have been outwardly saying that NBA is not my like favorite sport. I like college basketball a lot better than I like the NBA. But do you like or dislike the addition of like NBA and college basketball and all that stuff on Christmas Day or like the Christmas weekend? Like, do you
No,
are you mad that it
no,
keeps doing it?
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that I don't like that football is trying to take what the NBA built, but it's a thing. Like this happens every time Christmas Day is on a Sunday or a Monday. The NFL tries to take it. They get their little numbers. People like Darren Ravel will say like, "Oh, look at that! 30 million people watch the Raiders destroy the Chiefs instead of watching basketball." Oh, I'm like, is that a surprise? I mean, like we all know that basketball is an international sport in comparison to a national sport. And basketball is way more local than football is. So like we understand that this happens a lot with football. And I have no problem with it, but I think Christmas Day belongs to basketball, the NBA and college basketball. And football should, they try, but it's again, it's like the consistency, right? The NBA built Christmas Day around that. They did their time, they built the commercials, whereas they just throw for the NFL, they just throw Ravens 49ers in at 8:00, Eagles Giants. They put they kind of juice the numbers, right? You got Philly going against New York, Baltimore going against San Fran, big cities, right? Besides Baltimore.
Yeah.
You got people juicing, you got the numbers. So it's not it's kind of a thing. But look, I'm happy football fans get served on football day other than college football. But to me, it's basketball, man. I'll obviously watch the Eagles. I'll probably skim the Nickelodeon game. Obviously, I'll be tuning in for the Ravens Niners for a little bit. The Sixers play at 8, so I'll probably be skipping between those two. But to your question, my basketball predictions, right? I've got Nuggets Warriors. I've got the Nuggets, Knicks Bucks. Even though we've seen this already with the Knicks beating the Bucks because the Bucks really don't have it all together. I've talked about that on this program. It takes a lot. Or I'm sorry, not program, but pod, same thing. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to bring two talents together, and obviously they're missing Drew Holiday. But even still, I think Giannis has a big game. He might drop another 50-pointer. And hopefully he doesn't run into the locker room to get the game ball like he did a few weeks ago. But yeah. So I think Bucks, Nuggets, Sixers, the Heat are kind of lowly. And a shocker, Mavs Suns. You might think I would go all chalk, but Dallas, I don't hate your basketball team that much, even though I know I've said Luka's gonna leave y'all. But I think the Mavericks will beat the Suns because the Suns are one injury away from being Morgan's beloved Washington Generals. I think that Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are doing a heck of a job keeping that team, which is basically built on glue sticks from a kindergarten project together. But I just think that they're one injury away from imploding again. So yeah. I think the Mavs will be able to take full advantage, even though they're minus our favorite Kyrie Irving. I think Luka has another big game. I just think it's a game of MVP, man. These whole series, Joel Embiid will have a big game. Luka have a big game.
Yep.
Jokic, don't hate him that much. Denver fans will have a big game. Steph Curry, they'll go back and forth. Heck, it might end on a Steph Curry buzzer beater again. Who knows? So, like, I just think that it'll be a great time. It'll be great for basketball fans. It's great to have the Sixers back on. Big cities finally getting served again. And to go back to my Sixers report as well, because we can't talk B-ball without me talking about my Sixers.
I know.
My surging Sixers, right? They got bullied by the Bulls earlier. They're 1-1. They play the Raptors tonight, so TBD on that one. I fully expect them to beat the Raptors. But I just want to talk about Joel Embiid, man. What a December! 44.3 points, running away with the MVP, the odds-on favorite. No matter how much Jay Croucher and the rest of our NBA analysts hate it because they're Jokic fans, he's running away with it. A back-to-back.
No, he looks so good. He looks so good.
Future scoring champion. He's getting his assists up. Like Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, the best 1-2 punch. They score about 60.1 points per game. The next closest duo would be Giannis and Dame, scoring 58. And then the third is the duo I just talked about, KD and Booker, who scored 56 points. So can you imagine if we would have said this, Morgan, if we could go back to when we recorded over the summer, and I could have told you that Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey are the highest scoring duo. They're better than AD and LeBron. Better than Dame.
I don't
Dame
think.
and Giannis,
I think we both would have. I think we both would have laughed. I think we both would have laughed.
Right. But here they are. They're contending their top three. Do not sleep on the Sixers, baby. Like, don't sleep on them. There are a couple of shooters. To answer the next question, what do the Sixers need to compete? There are a couple of shooters away, man. They have great shooters. Nicholas Batum is injured right now, so they definitely need to get healthy. But they probably need some more shooters. But I don't think that they need like the big splash move like a Zach LaVine or an OG Anunoby or a Pascal Siakam. I think that they need like a third scorer to come in who can play some defense, who can give Joel Embiid some rest, so he doesn't have to be all the way over here.
That they need that third guy.
Anthony Edwards. Yeah, blocking Anthony Edwards' shot, and that's my biggest concern, right? These last two games, like it didn't happen against the Bulls. Like Embiid and Maxey weren't able to pull them over the finish line, but they were against the Timberwolves. They need that third guy. Tobias Harris needs to step up. I'm not saying he's going to get shipped out, but he needs to step up, or he might get shipped out. So, like, I think he needs to step up because they need that third or fourth scorer and a defender, and obviously a point guard too.
So, if they get all that stuff, do you think that they have a shot at the title?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah. Yeah. Like they have that shot. That shot is within. This is the best shot that they've had in the Joel Embiid era to me.
Yeah,
like,
I agree with you.
Like, and that's with Simmons. That's with the shot that happened against Kawhi Leonard. They have a better shot than 2019. They have a better shot. Now they can get. Now, if you telling me that Kawhi Leonard or Paul George is available, then yeah, sell the ship. Sell the ship for that, because that's a definite title contender. But since that's not available outside of Zach LaVine, you just take the medium move and have all that money in free agency.
All right. Our favorite segment. He's not him, she's not her. Who you got?
Woo! Okay. He's not him, she's not her. All right. So my he's not him / you need to step up or ship out. Matt Patricia. Look. I know under the circumstances, you took that job. There were a lot of political stuff. I totally called. I told Morgan the last time I saw her that something was about to happen with that defense. Now that I think that they were basically Game of Thrones it and demote Sean Desai to bring in Matt Patricia, no. But like, I know my Eagles better than they know themselves. So Matt Patricia, I think he did a press conference earlier today or yesterday where he talked about how he learned a lesson from his things in Detroit. I thought it was kind of weird that Darius Slay got arthroscopic knee surgery, but it seems like the Eagles' defense is getting a little healthy. They've opened up Avonte Maddox's window, so he should be back maybe by the playoffs, which might just save the Eagles' season because the slot corner is definitely where they can be had.
Yeah.
But luckily enough, they're facing the Giants, so other than Darren Waller, there's nobody in the slot that can take advantage of that one. So they need that. But Matt Patricia, you got to step up, man. You're in the light now. I'm telling you because outside of covering the team, I'm from Philadelphia. Them hardcore Eagles fans will only. This is your last game. This is your last honeymoon phase game. Like if the defense finds some way to give up about 20 to 30 points against the lowly Giants, no offense, Morgan, Tommy Cutlets. To Tommy Cutlets, who should be Tommy no cuts after the end of this game, but who knows? Like if they find a way to give up 20 points or more to him, like I'm sorry, Matt Patricia, is going to be over for you. So you better hope that you've drawn up a good scheme because it's only a matter of time before they're on radio calling for your head. Yeah. So he's not him / get ready to Matt Patricia. And she's not her. Oh, it's been a while. But I'm back on Kim Mulkey's head. What are you doing, Kim? Like you got Angel Reese back, and now I see that you're trying to fight somebody during a basketball game? And you're talking about you demoted Angel Reese and took her out of there, didn't want to talk about her, made it seem like she was in like Gitmo or something somewhere instead of on LSU's campus. And here you are out here. She's got to hold you back because you upset at a ref. I mean, we talking about a good example. Like, come on, Kim. Like, act like you've been there before. Now, I've never won a ring or as many rings as you have, but I would expect some class, girl. Like, come on now. Like, get some class. Angel Reese is back. You've got Haley Van Leaf. Like, you shouldn't be having this trouble. I get it. I said this in my article about the Eagles, right? Pressure makes diamonds. And right now, Kim Mulkey is looking like cubic zirconium. Now, Morgan, I know that you got an engagement ring. I don't want to call your future husband out because I don't know what he got.
No, it's a nice 3-carat diamond I got on my Rand.
Right. So it's not cubic zirconium, which I know is every woman, the bane of every woman's existence to like be like, it's cubic zirconium. But right now, that's what Kim Mulkey is looking like. Yeah. You need to act like you've been there before. You got Angel Reese back. It's not that bad. You still got a good team. I know you just lost a player because that player got tired of you. I don't know if that's the truth or not, but it seems like that's what happened. But like Kim, you got to shape up, man. Don't shape up. Don't shape up though, because I love doing my "She's Not Her" segments and bringing people's attention on you. So don't do that because you are a lot to deal with. So like. I know I wouldn't entrust my future daughter to you, but everybody keeps doing it, so you must be doing something right.
So he's not him.
Is it Ron Rivera?
No, it's not Ron Rivera. I thought about making it Ron Rivera, but no, I'll let Ron Rivera slide this week because he's done nothing that stupid. But mine is the conspiracy theorists that think that they know who's going to be in the NFL Super Bowl because of the colors of the Super Bowl logo. Have you seen this? The last 3 years, the colors of the Super Bowl logo have like slightly reflected who was going to play in it. And obviously it comes out before the teams get there. And the colors this year are reddish and purplish. So they're saying that it's going to be the 49ers and the Ravens. So no, just chill out, guys. We don't have to put our tinfoil hats on for everything. It's not scripted, so relax. And my "She's Not Her" is more of like an "It's Not It." UConn's black jerseys. They're terrible. They can't win in them. They have to get rid of them. They need to burn them in Gampel. We're done. We can't wear. We got to get rid of them. They can't win in them.
Are you saying that's a reverse jinx when they wear the black jerseys as the guaranteed L?
yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So right under an hour, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus.
Shout out to the Jerry.
Everything.
Shout out to the Seinfeld fans right there with that
Yes.
one.
Everything. I hope all of our Jewish listeners had an awesome Hanukkah. And enjoy this next couple days with friends, family, loved ones. Be thankful. And we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the games this weekend. Pretty much no matter what time of the day you want to watch, you got bowl games, you got NFL, you got NBA. So lots going on, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, have a great one, y'all.
Peace.